So, good evening. We are back again. We're talking about Ivan Toney to Arsenal. Come on, baby. It's looking like it could be getting done. Fingers crossed. Their technical director has come out and said they would be open to offers, and the big offer could prize him out of Brentford. Before we get into all of that, also Eddie Nketiah as well. Clubs looking at Eddie Nketiah, according to Fabrizio Romano. And this would be huge for us. Trust me, we need to get that bum out of our club. Go and get a bad boy striker. Ivan Toney is that. And we're going to get into all of that in a second. I will have another video out later on this evening as well. Two more, actually. And make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. Zubimendi's linked to Arsenal. He's got a 52 million release clause. He's a baller as well. So check that video out. And then Anana up at Everton, fresh off of the back of his stinky penalty last night. Is also linked to Arsenal. Check out the video I'm dropped as well. By the time you finished watching this, there'll be a video out on the other channel, Lee Reacts, about Mason Greenwood. So go and check that out. And tonight I'm doing a watch along on there for Liverpool versus West Ham. But let's get into this. Let's get into this Ivan Toney story, because this is a player that I've wanted at Arsenal for 3 years, like literally since he was ripping it up in the Championship. Get this geezer to the club. This guy is absolutely sick. Every attribute to bang in the Premier League. He proved that last season. 20 Premier League goals, 32 goals in the last 2 seasons in the Premier League. So, and that's despite being out suspended for the last, 5 games last season, I think it was. However, the Brentford technical director, Lee Dykes, has admitted the Bees would be willing to sell him and insisted that it will take a decent fee to tempt them into the deal. Obviously, we know Chelsea are looking at him as well, but not being funny, don't want to be that guy. But why would you go Chelsea? Like, real talk, why would you choose Chelsea instead of Arsenal at this current point in time? No way in a million years would you pick Chelsea. Cheers, guys. They're an absolute mess. And they've got a squad full of nobodies. They've done £1 billion on it. And yes, he would get a game because Jackson's rubbish. They've obviously got Nkunku now. Didn't cover himself in glory last night when he came on either. But it is what it is. But anyway, the technical director at Brentford has said this. I'm excited for Ivan to come back because I see him out there in training and he is some player. Looks like he's never been away. There's a real ambition for him. And I can see that in his eyes, and he's going to be better than he's ever been. Yes, there's lots of interest in Ivan in January. Naturally, there should be. He's the 3rd highest Premier League goal scorer last season. One of them, Harry Kane, has gone to Germany. So now he's up there as one of the best strikers in the division. He's in the top 5 in the world, in my opinion. So there should be interest. And maybe the time comes very shortly that Ivan moves to another club, but they will have to pay a decent transfer fee to acquire his services, because he is some talent. We won't sell a player unless we're ready to sell. We sit in front of every player and say that. If your career goals are above us at the right time and our valuation is met, then we're open to listening to the numbers, but it's got to be right for all parties. Now, listen. Arsenal have scored the fewest amount of goals within the current top 4, and Gabby Jesus and Eddie Nketiah are managing just 8 goals between them. Yeah, Toney would certainly be an upgrade on these two. Yeah, Toney is an out-and-out striker. He works the channels. He can hold the ball up. He's a different option up front. All of our attacking players are, they're all tiny. Let's just be real with it. They don't dominate the penalty box aerially. Yes, I know we've got 29 there now, but again, for somebody that's 6'4", it's not exactly the one, is it? But we'll see. We'll see. Look, at the end of the day, I think that if we signed this guy, I think that we're banging the title. Well, listen, we're in the title race as it stands. However, we was in the title race at this time last season, and we see what happened come April. So we need to go out there this January. We need to go and sign some players that can take us to that next level. I think he can, and I think that this guy guarantees you goals. This guy guarantees you hold-up play, link play. He's cold on penalties. You know, he scores all types of different goals, left foot, right foot, headers. You know, this guy's going to come back absolutely chomping at the bit to go and smash the league up after 8 months being suspended for betting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this guy in an Arsenal shirt. Fingers crossed we can get this done. Listen, Arsenal have got money. Yeah, don't let all these rumours out there blag you into thinking that Arsenal are tight on FFP and we're on the watch list so we can't spend. Absolute load of cobblers. Yeah, we have got money. We've lowered the wage bill massively since Arteta's been there, which ironically is 4 years today, by the way. 4 years. How quick that's gone. And I think if we do sign him, I reckon he'll end up being our top goal scorer by the end of the season. Yeah, but he gives us something completely different. Yeah, it's just whether Arteta wants a striker, because he's only ever signed one, and that is Jesus. And is he really an out-and-out striker? Probably not. So we've got to hope that this manager's looking at it thinking, right, well, they've got Haaland. We need to go and get a killer up front as well. And yes, he's not in that Haaland bracket in terms of output, but he's a better footballer. Yeah, he's just not an elite outlet in terms of Haaland, the level elite. He's still quality. I rate this guy so highly, man. And I think that if we signed him, he can play on the 17th of January. So just under a month. We need to get that deal done. I personally believe it is being done. That's just my opinion. Listen, I may be way off the mark, but there's way too much talk about this guy. There's way too many quotes coming out from people at Brentford, journalists that are kind of in the know. Fabrizio's had his speak on it as well, and saying that, look, Arsenal and Chelsea are in for him. It's concrete. They definitely want to sign him. There was talk that we could get him on loan and then buy him at the end of the season. I'm not so sure whether that would be the case, but either way, I don't care. Just go and get this guy at the club. And I think if we signed him, get him straight into that team, he'll boost us in the Champions League as well. And it'd be good for him as well, because he can hit the ground running with us. We're playing something half decent at the moment. I wouldn't say we've been flat out amazing, because we haven't. But the amount of chances we create, the amount of chances we're missing, he's taking a lot of them. So it is what it is. And apologies if you can hear the wind. I don't know if you can hear the wind in the background. It is mad windy, like proper gale force winds here today. Sunny, but mad windy. Anyway, before we do wrap this up, let's talk about Eddie Nketiah. And again, Fabrizio has spoken about Eddie Nketiah, saying that there's German clubs in for him, there's Premier League clubs in for him, and an important offer could change the stance on Arsenal. Arsenal ain't necessarily looking to get rid of him, but there's speculation again about Eddie's future, he said. And there's always been from 5 or 6 Premier League clubs, and I'm also told Bundesliga clubs. It's normal because he is a good striker, Romano said. Arsenal are happy with Eddie. There's no current concrete advanced negotiations, but I think that could change with a very important proposal. But at this stage, Arsenal are not desperate to sell him at all. But if we get an offer 30 million plus, sell him. Just sell him. Try and maybe put him into the deal for Ivan Toney. Yeah, he don't have to move far, if at all, because Brentford's in London as well. We could get Ivan Toney come the other way. They would replace their striker with another striker. We get an upgrade on our one. Everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner. And then we hopefully go out there and sign a midfielder and maybe another defender. And then I do think we cross the line this season. And I do think we win the league. But that's just me. We're going to see the ambition in this football club. Yeah, we see the ambition of our football club in January last year, or last season, should I say. And it wasn't good enough. Hence why we bottled the title. So hopefully all of the hierarchy at Arsenal and the manager are looking at this January and going, right, let's go out there. Let's go and get the players required this time. Let's go and do a bit of dough on top quality players. And let's get over the line. Because at the end of the day, 4 years this guy's been in the job and he's won 1 trophy. And that was 3.5 years ago. All of a sudden, it will be 4 years by the end of the season if you don't win anything. That ain't acceptable for a club like Arsenal. Yeah, despite people telling you that the League Cup's rubbish, I'd rather be in it and win it and have a chance to win it than not being in it by getting knocked out in the 3rd round. Like, come on. People want to be snobby about, let's go for the Champions League. Let's go for the league. Yeah, that's cool. How about go for all of them? How about build a squad capable enough to challenge on all fronts? Not just, we'll put that in the bin, bigger fish to fry, and all that rubbish. How about actually go and try and challenge for every single trophy? We've got the money. Have we got the ambition? We will find out. But listen, big up to everybody who has tuned in. Like I said, I will be back again later. Zubimendi video, what time is it now? 4:45, so 3:45 UK. Zubimendi video I'll be dropping at 7 p.m. UK. And then I'll have another video out about Nana about 11:30 UK time. So keep your eyes peeled for that as well, people. Make sure you are sticking a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe, comments and supers down below. And don't forget to come and check out Lee Reacts as well. Greenwood videos dropping on there as we speak. And then obviously a watch along for the League Cup game against Liverpool versus West Ham. That should have been us in that cup. But there we go. We threw the game against West Ham because we got bigger fish to fry. Now let's go and fry the fish, innit? And yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you think we're getting Toney? Do you think Eddie will leave? Do you rate Toney? Leave it all down in the comment section. We're out of it, people. Layers.